Good Monday morning, everyone. It's time to talk about the markets with Jim Cramer on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Jim, we have a nice rally in stocks. You just spoke to Larry Kudlow.
Yes, we do, and I think Larry kind of fleshed out some things that weren't said, and this is important. Here's the news. It's not just ag and oil by any means. It's about the idea that maybe they get rid of the 50% rule. We can have 100% of our companies. That means that there may be far less stealing of intellectual property. The finance companies, you see Visa and MasterCard and Goldman Sachs up and Action Alerts holding, that maybe our finance companies truly going to be able to make a difference there and be involved. This is all really much bigger news than the press previously has let on. I listened to it and I said, wow, the media's got this wrong. The big things are the way that the Chinese may allow us to sell things in China. Not nat gas, not farm, although farm could double. But the idea of how we do business and the rule of law, that would be dramatic. Larry Kudlow is talking about a far different set of wins than what the media has. And I wonder why the media has been so small versus what Larry said. Very big. Very big.
We're seeing that market reaction. Of course, Caterpillar up over 2%. Remember that conference call a few weeks ago? Who could forget that?
Exactly.
And in terms of what Larry said, he said there's no deadlines on any tariffs.
But again, what matters is that this is a dramatic change if they get it. And now the market's just saying, phew, no tariffs. We can Intel, Apple, Caterpillar, Boeing. But and that's true. You take the tariffs off the table, you take the trade war, so to speak, off the table. That's very good for the stock market. I'm talking about structurally for the U.S. economy. If Larry's right, then it would be a remarkable thing. So let's watch that.
All right, so what's next, Jim? Because, of course, we have NAFTA negotiations still going on.
Yeah, NAFTA is going to be difficult because the advantages that that Mexico has over us are rather dramatic. Let's see what happens there.
Meanwhile, Jim, on your Mad Dash segment, you talked about Micron Technology raising their guidance.
I mean, that was unexpected, and this is just tightness in DRAMs. We heard that from Cisco last week. It's obviously a big fact.
And we've talked about how Micron can be a cult stock.
Right, and Micron is very inexpensive. If you can extend how long DRAMs, and this is what they did, are going to be in tight supply, then you do make it so that Micron should get a higher price earnings multiple on what the earnings they're talking about.
And we talked about Micron last week. Micron tends to be able to mount a rally in tech if it does well.
Yes, it's got a meaningful pin action, so to speak.
Jim, you have a big show coming up on Mad Money tonight.
We have really a company that I like very much, Strauss Zelnick and Take-Two Interactive, some good things. IFF and Zillow, the opposite. People didn't like the IFF acquisition. Let's see the other side of that trade. And people don't like what that Zillow's up to with its house flipping. So again, we want to find out what's going on.
Jim, you also had a busy weekend giving the commencement speech at Bucknell University.
People can check that out. It was for my stepdaughter Charlotte. Congratulations to Bill Detweiler and to Lisa Detweiler, my wife. And I feel very strongly that my message of it's okay to fail, but it's not okay to quit got through. So I'm positive. I'm embarrassed to talk about myself any more than I already have.
No, but you talked about how you lived in your car.
Yeah, I did.
It's incredible.
I lived in my car. You know, I got broken into. I lost everything. But I came through it.
But you never gave up.
Nope.
All right, Jim, incredible speech. Congratulations to your family. And Jim and I are going to continue talking about stocks. Please join us on actionalertsplus.com.